So Earl on the bottom has his mage. And I've been waiting to see these mages.
I've been waiting to see tempo mages
day.
for a while today, so it's really nice to see a tempo mage for this round.
They both need to put headphones in. The in-ear headphones. So we see yeah, he has them right next to him. He just need to put them in his phone and play music. So, I mean, Earl, you know,
All right, sorry everyone, we're having just a little technical difficulties. We're gonna mute in-house casting for right now because Magnechu does not have in-ear headphones with him, so we just fixed it for us so he can't hear us while we cast. So we're gonna start right on off. So
Arcanologist is looking, you know, fairly strong off one. He sent back Kieran Tormage, which would have been a pretty nice card to have here.
Yep.
Definitely would have liked to see Kieran Tormage come out on 3 here, and the weapon in hand for Magnechu is very strong.
One of the good things though he did pick up was Alaneth, and that's gonna be a really good turn 6 play once he can establish the board and get a couple of them secrets out there and get ready to go.
I mean, Mana Rim's very strong.
Yeah,
Second Arcanologist is very strong. Earl, quite the map clicker, as we can see.
So Stonehill Defender down for Magnechu.
And it seems like Earl is going to have a tough time getting into Magnechu's jungle after this card has been played. We'll see some decision making from Magnechu. Must be a tough decision. We'll see it when it gets picked up. I mean, a lot of times you'll find Rin, and that's just not even like great. I mean, a lot of these are not what you want to see.
No,
like,
not
you
at
don't want
all.
to destroy your mana. You want to get up there quickly. Yeah. You definitely don't want to Fellhound.
You definitely don't want to discard 2 cards unless you don't need to.
Cards.
So
and I mean, it's Trog
Gloom Eater sounds like the best pick.
I mean, I guess it can't be bad, but it's. I don't think it's ever getting played. I mean, it can get played from Skull, right? So it's not bad.
Yeah, so it's probably
and
probably
it's the only
better
demon,
of the
so
3.
it's better of the 2 options.
Yeah.
And now Earl has some decisions to make. He can kind of pop off a little bit here with his Mana Rim and sort of force an answer, which I kind of like. I like forcing the Warlock to deal with your things. And, I mean, Glyph comes out here, gets a nice cheap spell out of it.
Got a free Arcane Missiles, Blizzard, Frozen Clone.
I really like the missiles here. That's just me. Frozen Clone, it gets you like a lackey at best, and he can push a lot of damage here, and you really force him to have that Hellfire. I think you might save the second missiles.
Gets both missiles. On a Stonehill Defender.
I just like trading here and saving the missiles for next turn, but maybe you don't. I think you're forcing a Hellfire either way, if you're Earl here. Earl just shrugging it off, saying, if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. And I mean, right now, for Magnechu, we don't see the answer needed, right?
Not at all. I think probably the best play for him right now should be Coin Skull is pretty much the only thing he can really do. And it actually set up some pretty good stuff for next turn for him, though.
I think Coin Lackey would be fairly strong. It stops him from playing any more random stuff because you don't want to see another Void Lord come out, and then the next turn you can Skull, or you could Cube it and just let it stick. But maybe Cube Skull might be better, but I think at this point Cube Lackey's fairly strong.
They'll serve me now.
And I mean, now I think it's time to start getting those secrets online. You've seen the Lackey, so you don't have to worry about explosive runes anymore, messing you up or anything like that.
Nope.
And you start seeing Magnechu take some serious damage here. It starts to accumulate very quickly, but he does have both dark packs in hand, so.
An incredible discovery.
I'm going to draw another secret. Drew explosive runes. Going to drop down a counter spell.
Found it first.
He's going everything to face.
So if you're Earl, you're really hoping to see Doomguard come out here, like badly, because Void Lord is just frustrating to play against. It just slows everything down a lot.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, if you're Magnechu, you're really hoping for Void Lord. And there it is. It's the Void Lord comes out. Coil comes out on the Mana Rim just to bait out the counterspell, and just like that, there's no board. Boom.
Now, Magnechu has a couple of options next turn, which would be really good for him. So Swagio gets Pyroblast.
I mean, the plan could just be try and burn him out. If you counterspell again, you stop him from being able to Q-Pact. But
would Q-Pack be a good idea for right now, though?
this is a lot of burn in his hand. I think he's going to want the healing as possible, as much healing as possible.
So he is going to cube. The Void Lord. Yeah, he's going straight for it.
But there is quite a bit of burn in the deck, and I think if you counterspell now, you're in a decent little spot. You're not dying to anything anytime soon.
No, not at all.
The thing about Void Lord is it does have 3 attacks, so it's not highly aggressive.
And he does need to start pulling stuff out of his hand first, so he does not overdraw. He's going right for it.
He's going.
None of those hitting anywhere close to the face right now.
I mean, but at that point, you're just trying to get them out of your hand, right? So you're not too upset either way. We burned 1 correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we do burn
one card.
Never too bad to see. Statistically, it's not the worst thing in the world. I think if you're Magnechu, you might just want to just play a Mountain Giant and say, well, you're going to have to do something eventually, or I'm just going to win.
Yeah, it's definitely a big minion on the board that you have to deal with. If not, and it's going to be a lot of damage towards face next turn.
So many possibilities.
I think the plan for Earl is still just swing face and just try and get the burn strat, because you have 22 points of burn in your hand, 25 points of burn in your hand, and even more in your deck. And now you've seen the rest of the healing, with the exception of the spell stones. You burn.
So
you
burn Life Drinker, which isn't
but you
too
burn
bad.
burn, which you don't love either way. And the Sleepy Dragon picked up. That could do a lot to eat an explosive runes and things of that nature. But I think the plan for Swagio Earl is just go face, right? Like, play a lot of spells this turn, get things out of your hand, and go face.
So looks like he's got to drop down the Cantor Mage and get that free explosive runes.
Seems like Tyrantor Mage, get a free. You could double Tyrantor Mage and get 2 free secrets.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice. Establishes the board, forces maybe a Hellfire if there's a Hellfire in hand, but like we don't know if Magnechu was ever going to feel pressure to deal damage to himself to clear the board.
But then the bigger downside on that one is that he needs to start burning face, because if he doesn't, and that giant Mountain Giant comes down, he has no real answer for it.
I think all of this burn needs to get shipped face.
The power courses through me.
He needs to get some lucky Cinderstorms, because, I mean, if we look at the burn in the deck in hand, and we're only running 1 Pyroblast, I believe, in Swagio's Mage. There's 1 Pyroblast. There is a second Glyph to get lucky and find another Pyroblast. Burning the Life Drinker.
The Mountain Giant does come
tough.
down.
Eats that damage, which is very nice.
Yes, definitely.
Eats the damage and almost forces an answer in a way, because now he's set up for lethal next turn, and Earl needs to kill him or kill this Mountain Giant. And we'll just have to see where some of this stuff goes. I think counting mana. We can Sorcerer's Apprentice, Mana Rim, play all of our random hit things, McGee's, and see what we got.
For Dalaran. For Dalaran.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Trying to minimize the other board so we can at least try maybe get some of this Cinderstorm or at least Arcane Missiles to at least get 2 towards the Mountain Giant to kill it.
So now coming down the Mountain Giant really wants to see a snipe here. Misses that. Gonna
Missing
have
it.
to take the 2 damage for the ping just to stay alive. I mean, you can ping and you'll still have 2 mana. You can play Frostbolt and Firefly.
It's definitely
He'll
not
be
what
at
he wanted to
18.
see. You can even see it. He's definitely not liking those pings.
No, you definitely do not want to spend 2 mana dealing 1 damage to a Mountain Giant, but at some point you have to do it. He's not happy about it at all, but it looks like it's just going to have to happen.
He pings out the Mountain Giant, 3 more to face, drops down a Firefly.
Close.
Courses through me.
He's very close. This glyph could be very interesting. So let's think. In terms of dealing damage, Magnechu needs to set up lethal this turn. Because I think Earl has Magnechu on a 2-turn clock.
Yeah.
So Magnechu needs to be 1 turn ahead. And maybe if he thinks, oh, I want to kill the Sorcerer's Apprentice so I don't get burned out, like he could run into some trouble. I think it's still possible for Earl to get there.
Sleeping Dragon in hand, so that's a very big taunt. 3/8 Void Lord, 3/6 Void Lord. I feel like he's gonna maybe drop down Sleepy Giant or the Sleepy Dragon. At least get another taunt out there
And go face,
and
I think.
go face. I think would probably be a good idea.
So Owl coming down, I mean, it does.
Is he gonna? Okay, he's gonna clear the entire board. Oh, that's right. I
Counterspell
forgot that
coming out.
counter spell.
No, Defile's fine. He does clear the
Yep,
board with
he
Defile.
does. He does clear the board.
Almost out of cards.
So Earl will fatigue. And I believe that is where we will see.
Just like you.
And this is a little bit of a miss here. Vaporize could keep him alive, I think. But not with the fatigue. I think the fatigue is going to take him down. He needs to vaporize and go face and just see how the math works out. He's running the math in his head right now. We can't see exactly how many cards are in his deck, but Janan just let us know that she is almost out.
Life Drinker gives him a little bit of health back, so that might actually be a decider for that one, to tell you the truth.
He takes 3 next turn. He gets put to 1. We're just kind of hoping that, Earl would be hoping right now that Magnechu does not see the lines of the fatigue putting him to dealing damage to him. Oh, well, we do have this. So this happens. So he'll be alive at 1 health.
He will be alive at 1 health. I think he might have just pulled it out.
Wait, this is
The only other
very, very good play right now to give himself the best chance. He dealt 2 fatigue to himself. Next turn, he takes 3. So he needs to
Does he
top
have
deck
another Hellfire in hand?
He does have 1 more Hellfire. Oh, this is clutch. Wait, the healing is very big. No, Earl just...
well,
oh,
even
he's
with the
still-
healing,
he's
he's
still
still
dead- he's
dead.
still dead to
Yeah, he's still
Pyroblast.
dead to Pyroblast.
Wow.
Man, that
Earl.
was Earl pulling it out.
Playing perfectly.
Man,
Whoo. Wow. Earl with the win.
with a sigh of relief.
Sigh of relief getting there. All of that healing coming down. He had
and
2
he
packs.
still was able to burn
Spell
that much
Stone.
healing.
And that has to hurt.
Oh
if
yeah.
you're Magnechu. But it wasn't a lucky top deck. It wasn't.
Nope.
It wasn't. I mean, it was lucky. The Vaporize was very lucky.
Oh, definitely for him.
But it's also smart to see the line of that. I know once he played the Vaporize, I forgot it was there, and I was like, oh, he's just dead.
I forgot the counter spell was there beforehand. So, so yeah, I mean, just that right there was like good heads up play on him. made sure he knew what he needed to do to make sure he didn't get that extra damage into him, so he didn't fatigue out.
Yeah.
So hats off to him on that one. So he's now up
Wow.
1-0.
Wow. That was very impressive. I'm impressed. I'm thoroughly impressed by that play. Game 2.
And again, that brings it towards Tempo Mage and how good Tempo Mage is.
Yeah, and now we have
I always
now
do.
this might be a treat if that Tempo Mage is any sign of Earl's level of play. This Quest Rogue might just be a clinic. But he's up against the Quest Rogue.
So are we doing a Quest Rogue mirror?
It's looking like the mirror.
Man, are there any cards that are different for this? There are a couple different cards.
Both are running Sap.
Swag
Knives
is
for
running
Earl.
Valera though, so.
Earl is not running the Firefly and Igneous package,
Yep. So we'll see how this one goes.
but Sonya, an opening hand for Earl, is big in the mirror. Very big in the mirror. As we're seeing the deck list on screen right now. Kind of convenient. We were just talking about it, and then
Yeah.
he pulls it up to look at. So it's really not too bad. You get to see the deck list a little bit. But the Shadow Step picked up is really big. Played out the Flame Elemental with no other Flame Elementals in hand. I guess just trying to get board control. Phantom Knives, it's not a bad thing to pick up 2 of. I think you want minions in a little more proactive play, but Phantom Knives can keep them alive a little longer. A lot of the minions don't have a lot of health, so
He picks up another Firefly though. That is very good for him, especially with Shadow Step in hand.
yeah.
And a useful Brewmaster.
Yeah, this turn he could bounce the, because you want to complete the quest of the Flame Elementals normally, correct?
Yes, you do. But with what he has in hand right now, I mean, it shouldn't.
Could just do it with Fireflies.
Yeah.
At any point, I was just going to say, if Boar gets picked up, this game flips on its head. Because Sonya and Boar is the nuts. And it almost doesn't matter how fast Magnechu can bounce these things back and forth, because Earl can just play them back to back to back to back to back once he gets enough mana. As long as Magnechu keeps making a board, Earl can keep trading in boars.
Yep.
And this is the first Quest Row game that we've casted today I've casted today that has seen Sonya and the power level of Sonya spike up so high, because she is very powerful in the matchup, and she can help you win matchups that you normally wouldn't even win. But double bouncer picked up.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Help
and I
him
think
get to that,
he's
help
gonna-
him
he's
to get
gonna
that a little
complete-
quicker.
He's going to try and complete it with the Firefly.
Lyra
which is-
picked up by Swagoy.
I think you wait a little longer to go for the Sonya plan. Could even do it with deckhand. So Magnechu, he's played one Firefly or one Flame Elemental so far. He's played 2 Fireflies, 1 Flame Elemental, and the second Shadow
Second
Step. He
Shadow
can't
Step.
complete it this turn though, right? Wow.
Drink with me, friend.
Jeez. So it's 2. For the people that can't track the quest at home, I'll track it for them. 2, I believe. I think you keep bouncing this turn. You just bounce as much as you can.
You have 2 Shadow Steps in hand to be able to do it.
I mean, this hand's insane. You have the Flame Elemental. You have all the bounces. He's just trying to calculate how quickly he can get this quest done, I think. Because I feel like first quest, best quest
Choose soon.
in this matchup. But whatever happens, if he plays it, he needs to bounce it. 3.
I think he's going to complete
Earl
quest this
is-
turn.
No, he
Oh, he's
chooses
gonna-
not to. So I feel like Earl might need to feel a sense of urgency now with this. I don't know if 2 boars is worth it. But he might have to just do something about this. He could always draw and cycle some more. He needs to find some bounces. He could
Many options.
use Vanish to his advantage later on.
So many lines he can take right now, too.
I hope you like my invention.
This prep is
Oh.
big. It means that we could, but we don't want to use this prep vanish yet. I think we want to use prep for quest or later prep vanish, so we can play a bunch of minions, prep them, play them again. And Earl just looking to cycle, and I think that's probably his option now. And now he's definitely decided which of the charger minions he's going to complete this quest with. Because with the Sonya, and Sonya coming out for Magnechu as well.
Drink with me, friend.
But no prep in hand. So Earl could just basically complete the quest next turn, essentially, maybe. I haven't really looked exactly at how many it would take. It would take 5, so I don't know if he'll be 1 off completing the quest, and then just be able to bounce it next turn and prep out the quest the next turn.
Looks like he could clear a little bit of the board.
I mean, if Magnechu plays any more, then you know the board can get a lot of value here. He'll probably complete it with the board because he can trade in 2 each.
He's just debating right now whether he wants to put anything more out on the board or not.
And I think he's opted to do so, but he's going to bounce this again. The quest is complete, so he can leave it out there. And this makes me think, you're only getting 3 anyway, so you might as well bounce it with... You might as well bounce it with deckhand, because you're only going to get 3. You can get 4. Sonya here.
Come, try your luck.
Southsea deckhand coming out.
Yeah, it's worth noting these are 1/1 copies afterwards. Which is something interesting that you don't really realize. You think it'll have 2 attack the whole time, but the second one does have 2 attack.
No.
And you get 2 in here, so that's 4. Yep. So 4 will come down. And then next turn, we'll have 9 cards in hand currently. We can go face with this. And boom. So, I
And I
mean,
believe-
Magnechu's looking for prep.
He definitely needs a prep. He does not get it. Earl has so much more value in his hand coming up in his turn.
Yeah, for sure. With things like, so he's gonna clear everything. Oh, he makes him burn. All Earl needs to do is play a minion that's not. So he forces him to burn a card.
Maybe even Mag's looking at himself right now. It's like I'm not in a good position right now.
No. And with the prep coming down, it's just really rough. Now you look, is there lethal? 'Cause there's a lot of bouncing and charging and bouncing and burning in the hand. I don't think there is a lethal. But it's something
Not
worth
right
looking at,
now.
and that's fairly good.
But
Yeah, there's no reason not to just go all in here.
Here we go.
And I think the bane for Magnechu here is just going to be the fact that he may have taken it a little too slow. He could have bounced all of them earlier and just gotten that quest off a couple turns earlier, I think.
yeah,
And in the mirror match, you really want to accentuate getting that quest out as quickly as possible. And there's the prep a turn too late, basically. But I mean, Sonya and board does clear the board, which is pretty good. So it keeps him alive. If you're looking at this and saying, wow, this seems powerful, it's because it is.
just because it is.
It's because
Yeah,
it
it
is.
definitely is. Especially for Quest Rogue. I mean,
Yeah.
this card right here is pretty much built for Quest Rogue.
But now the ultimate value engine comes out.
You cannot.
And now you have to think, if it comes to this point,
Death.
the rogue with Valyria might be favored. Magnechu can't even attack. He can't even do any damage to Earl this turn.
I hope you like my invention.
What are you thinking here?
I mean, his line of play right now for Mag is good right now, but it's just like Earl's next turn could literally just take his entire board and put it right back into his face.
Yeah.
Especially with that prep in hand. No prep whatsoever or vanish for Mag right now to even be able to do the same thing that Earl's about to do to him.
Yeah, and I mean, even we could. He has the double sap after this. He could prep vanish this turn and then. You know, but I think most of the chargers are gone.
I think right now what he's going to do, he's going to fill his board.
I hope you like my invention.
I mean, now you get to cycle through.
I hope you like my invention.
At this point, you want to play as many things as possible to set up this lethal. You don't want to bounce anything. You just want to leave it all out on the line and say, don't have vanish. We see one sap. We see a glacial shard.
Oh, he picks up the. You say it and he
vanish.
picks it up.
And Earl at this point has to worry about how many cards are in his deck. You know what I mean? He could burn himself into fatigue here. I mean, Magnechu can still definitely get here. He has another board clear.
Come.
He does have another board clear.
And Earl is not happy to see that this time.
Not at all. So he's going to save the vanish for another
Clear the
full board that
and,
Earl
you know,
has.
Magnechu kind of turning it around here. Definitely a powerful play. Definitely the same exact power level that we saw him the first time.
Exactly.
But, it's very
He's going
good.
right back to him.
Yeah, and I mean he gets to send that 5 damage to face as well. Yeah, he could send another 5 damage to face. He could bounce it again if he wanted to.
I hope you like my invention.
So it looks like he's just going to draw. He got another Stone Tusk board, so he got 2 boards.
But the issue for Earl now is there's no more chargers in the deck, I believe. I think we've seen both boars.
I think
maybe
we've seen
one
both
boar.
boards.
We've seen one boar. If we've seen one boar, then this game is not over. If we've seen both boars, Earl's going to have a tough time. Hovering bottom right.
He's thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we must have seen both boards there. Yeah, Earl with tough loss there. Seemed like to be in a good position.
Yeah, and then
but
Magnechu just brought it right back.
Sonya Shadow Dancer, man. She's so
Crazy.
good. She's
Crazy
so
for
good.
Quest. Crazy.
Crazy for Quest.
Crazy.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff.
Hey, and what just happened right there? Magnechu was on the brink of losing that match, and he comes back.
Yeah, and he didn't even need the vanish that we were
Nope.
talking about. So, I mean, I think Earl was just kind of banking on that he didn't have the second boar when he goes wide like that because he knows that Sonya's back in his hand. Fortunately, it's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, you know?
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Exactly. Going into game 3 in a very tight, well played series.
Dude,
so far.
I'm loving this series
Yeah,
so
this
far.
series
This is
is
literally down to the
great.
wire for
Yeah.
every game so far.
And now we have Quest Rogue versus this.
Back.
It is a Spiteful Druid, and Spiteful Druid has kind of struggled today. We kind of talked about that. Did not have the showing that it wanted to at first, and the sap coming out is really good against turn 6 Spiteful. It's a lot of Glacial Shards.
That is a lot of Glacial Shards. I don't really think he would really want those in his hand right now, to tell you the truth.
It can't be bad, but it's not great. He's gonna stop him. They're gonna be pushing damage because they're gonna keep freezing him every turn, which is kind of nice. And Earl just, I feel like in every Quest Road matchup, there's a decision-making process to go through at the beginning of the game. You have to wait a couple turns before you even know your game plan. And that's what makes the deck so interesting is that your game plan isn't exactly determined at the beginning, you know?
No, not at all.
You play each round a little differently because you never know what cards you're going to draw. You don't know what card you're going to go off on. You know what I mean? And, I mean, Vanish is very good in this matchup. But we're going to see a lot of damage start to get pushed down, and Wax Elemental might come down to just eat some of that up. Wax Elemental could re-dagger, but you know, it doesn't really do anything. I don't like playing any of the chargers at all yet. How do you feel about that?
I mean, he has 2 charges in hand. He maybe could waste one, but I mean, you need those for at least bounces for Sony Shadow Dancer.
Yeah, it's tough to get a lot of value out of the bounces or out of the chargers sometimes because once you play them, you have to hit face if you want to bounce them. And I think he really wants to try and go off on some, you know, some more high value cards, like Glacial Shard, something like Glacial Shard, or something a little bit higher value that he can bounce back and get a lot of value. Like, you know, every time he plays it, it does something rather than just hit the face.
Here we go.
Right now, Earl is not really having that good of a hand right now. He has nothing to bounce off anything. He has no Brewmasters. He has no Shadow Steps in his hand. He has 1 Vanish, but that's pretty much it right now.
Yeah, and I mean, for Magnechu, what else are you silencing this game? The 5/5 minions don't get silenced back down to 1/1, so you just silence here and push the damage. Minstrel's nice. It allows you to cycle a little bit. You can clear a minion. You can clear the Spellbreaker and Minstrel, but then you have no minions in your hand before the draw. You'll draw 2, but you have to hope that they're valuable, and maybe you get some bouncers.
Something like that might be a play. So yeah,
That
he's
has to
going
be
to try
the
and
play
cycle
here.
into
He
his
doesn't
deck.
really have too much else to work with. You get second deckhand, which is quite nice.
All
And
right, so he did get 1
bouncer.
bounce.
Here we go.
You get deckhand, bouncer, and
But he's getting down to that. He's getting down to that health threshold right now, to where it's getting to a little bit bad for him, especially with so many Fungalmancer right there. He's just going to go straight face and not even care about what's on the board right now. All right, now he's the Shadow Step.
I mean, I think at this point you could deckhand, Shadow Step, deckhand, Prep Vanish or something like that. You could, or you can even deckhand Youthful Brewmaster. Or I don't know. You could. Yeah, I think you're definitely gonna deckhand before you vanish here. Regardless of what you do, you're gonna play a bunch of deckhands to try and get this quest out. And I mean, if he picks up Scale Hide and is able to complete the quest here, maybe there's a chance. I mean, I know he can't be in love with this play, but
Not at all, especially with.
it's not bad. Deckhand will be at 3, and then it'll be at 4 after next turn. I think he has to play it out, right? Oh, he could have. He could have pushed the 2 damage. Because he didn't think he had the mana to dagger up, but he did. So I mean, next turn there's a way to see not a big pressure hand for our big pressure board set up by Magnechu. And that is
he
the
gets this.
ultimate card to deal
Dude,
big
that
pressure.
is probably the clutch card for him right now.
think maybe I
There
should
should be
just
no.
stop talking
There
to
should be.
Earl.
Well, every time you do, you always give him the card he wants.
Sorry.
Gave him the Vanish. Gave him the Spiteful Summoner.
I mean, but also the sap is it's far left. I mean, he's not dead, but he is dead to Malfurion. Because the 4/4 will stay on board. This 8/8's going away, almost no matter what happens.
Well, definitely.
And Earl just kind of nodding, saying, all right, that's what this deck does. I was kind of prepared for it. Second vanish, you could vanish it. This does a lot of good things, actually. Bounce sends a deckhand back to his hand. And keeps him alive another turn. Oh, he would love to pick up a prep next turn, but he would almost love even more to pick up a Vicious Scale Hide to heal up, because that's how it's going to happen. He's going to have to complete the quest and go off on Scale Hides just to stay alive.
Definitely going to need the Scale Hide, because you're talking about it just pushing even just like two damage to Earl's face, and then you got Ultimate Infestation in hand ready to go, just to close it out.
Earl thinking a lot about swinging face here. Not sure what exactly he could be pondering, but we could sap and bounce.
Too soon.
But you have to play the Wax Elemental or you're dead to Malfurion. Now the question is, do you play it now to get the mana out, or do you play it next turn to get the charge out? And Earl has kept himself alive. I believe.
The only bad part is when he has the Vanish in hand, but he has no prep to get that reduced mana cost. Sure, he has an Elven Minstrel in hand that he could use with the South Sea deckhand, but you can't use them all.
Yeah.
So he's got to pick up that. He's got to pick up a prep. Another Gluttonous who's down.
I think, you know, Vanish, you need to really consider, instead of playing the quest, maybe vanishing, buying a turn, getting the Scale Hide. Like, now you have to vanish, right?
Now you're
vanishing.
I would believe so. So it'd be either Brewmaster to face, or do you think the Brewmaster takes something out? No, you keep the Brewmaster.
No,
you definitely keep the Brewmaster.
And you just go face.
Accepted.
You go face. I think you play a deckhand. And then you vanish. Or maybe you just vanish. You don't even need to play the deckhand. And, you know, Magnechu does not like to see that. It's just...
Hand is too full.
It's very interesting because the Valeera pickup changes everything. He could stay alive past this turn, you know. He's now as a way to keep just trying to get there.
You know what I would want to see? I want to see Grand Archivist, and I would love if he had another Infestation in his deck
For it to hit face.
for it to hit face, and then do it again, because he'd have to get bounced back, and then do it again just to kill him. But it ain't going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Malfurion comes down and pushes 3 to face, and well, it does not push 3 to face because he doesn't have. He could coin it out, but I think he wants to save the coin for this Infestation. And you know, you can play one of these Fireflies, Flame Elemental guys. You can try. Stone Tusk Boar.
You cannot.
And he really wants to see a prep or a Vicious Scale Hide next turn. Vicious Scale Hide would be basically the game-ending play, almost. Because these Spiteful Summoners are dead draws. They're 6 mana 4/4s.
Yep.
But the Fungal Mancer comes down on these Taunt minions.
You can let both the Taunt minions up well above 5 health, so...
I mean, Emrys might get value after this. Next turn, instead of UI, it could just get value. Could double the health, double attack and health
Yep.
of all the minions in your hand. So the Fireflies would be 2/4s. Ooh.
Just not a lot of, like, proactive plays in Earl's hand right now. Just at least... He can get Quest, but he needs, you know, everything else to go with it. He needs the Scale Hides to help him out for the
He
heal.
also has the Shadow, like the Shadow Essence.
Yep.
So he wants to double
He's going
the
to
attack and
Emrys.
help all his minions in his hand.
Just look at Earl. Earl just like
Earl
looked
is
back.
like,
His
wow.
eyebrows was like biggest plates. He was like, oh, that's not good. All right, so he can't complete Quest.
Yes, he can play double Firefly if he wants to. To stay alive. These are all plays just to stay alive. Or double Glacial Shard. Did I say Firefly?
No.
I mean Glacial Shard. But I mean, what are these? These are all 8/8s. These Spiteful Summoners, these dead cards, these cards that I talk trash on are all 8/8s. This is a very good game right now. We've seen Earl just kind of hang in there in like scenarios where we didn't even think he could.
So he
And
pretty
now
much
he might be able to
cleared
threaten
the,
me.
I'm thinking that he could pull this one out. He pretty much cleared the board. Emrys is sitting there frozen.
I mean, Magnechu's minions are big, but they're not going to get in the way of anything.
Oh, Spiteful or Mind Control Tech might nope.
Wow.
Mind Control Tech actually might have.
And I mean, it has charge. He pulled a charge minion. He could trade in and save him. He could also deal 7 to face if he wanted to.
Mushroom power!
I don't think you deal 7 to face. I think you take out the Glacial Shard. You take out the Glacial Shard, you stop him from being able to bounce that and freezing any other minions.
I mean, even if you take out the Glacial Shard, he could go off with Charger somehow. We haven't seen all the bounces. He could Shadow Step. He could, because he can Youthful Brewmaster, Alpha Minstrel, draw another bouncer, or draw.
He's got a lot of different.
Sonya. He could draw Sonya.
He's got a lot of different angles right now, especially with whatever he can
Like a Sonya top deck is crippling for Magnechu because it just allows him to win, or it allows Earl to win, and maybe you go face just to avoid that. But he's gonna kill one of these Chargers. I think that's probably a lot smarter. But with Sonya, there's a chance.
Ooh, Mimic
Pod isn't exactly what you wanted. You could get Shadow Step, which would be huge. I think there's still a Shadow Step left. And I think you draw with Mimic Pod first. Because maybe you set up, you find like a lethal or something, just to look.
Elemental is actually a really good card to use right now to get 2 more minions, see what he can get.
Novice Engineer and Novice Engineer. I mean, he's gonna be able to freeze 2 minions and trade off the 3rd. So I mean, he's still in this as much as it doesn't feel like it sometimes. No, we have to play this. I mean, the 7-1 gets cut off and he's still alive. Like,
he's still alive.
Do you just prep Mimic? I mean, he's still alive. UI comes down. That's 20 damage on board. That's like he'll 20 damage on board, and the other mind control tech does some work here. Takes another 5/5, but this one won't have charge.
Engaging TC-130 into dislocator.
But there goes the lethal setup.
What else do you think? Spiteful Summoner coming down with a Firefly. I mean, it's can't really do anything else. I mean, I would think he would try to at least get a little bit more pressure on the board.
I mean, he's definitely going to try and press the board as much as possible. 8/8 Spiteful Summoner, pretty solid.
Fan of Knives.
I mean, the outs.
He's got a lot of draws. He has a lot of draws to draw what he needs for lethal. Now the Glacial Shard coming down.
I think we see a prep Mimic or a prep Fan. Because if you prep or Mimic into the second Shadow Step, I'm pretty sure there's a second Shadow Step in the deck. I don't know for sure.
Nice to meet you.
I mean, and Earl's not in love with the fact he's going to have to trade all of these minions off, but I mean, why not prep Mimic, right? Ooh, I mean, that's a nice value generator. So you can double Zola these Firefly or these Glacial Shards, and go face with the other 2. You kill one, go face with the other. But look at this from Earl.
Dude, he is just
hanging in there. He's never say die.
He's like, you want to beat me? You have to go through all these Glacial Shards just to do it.
Wow. This has been something else. He has gone off with these Glacial Shards like a madman. And he's probably checking. He's like, is there a Leroy in here?
There's nothing that Magnechu can do. That's game. That is game.
I mean, I'm not going to call it game yet because of how much it's been game for Magnechu. And,
so
like, I don't know. I didn't think there was anything for Earl either, but he gets the Zola and he's able to freeze everything.
All right, so you have Serenite Changain to at least try to stop some damage.
You can armor up as well. This might save you because 2 of them have to go in. That leaves 25. Huh. That's not good. This is not good for Magnechu right now. He's looking. He's going to...
I don't see there's...
My thoughts are plagued. Masterful.
Yeah, I think think he might just
Yeah,
concede.
yeah.
Wow.
I think there was no way he could have stopped that damage.
Jeez, and you know, a game like that hurts both sides because it's just look at Earl's face right now. That was mind wrecking. That game was intense.
This is probably, I think, been the best match so far that I've cast so far. This
without
match
a doubt,
is insane.
This is beautiful play from both sides, and like Earl with his Paladin ban, he gets to play Warlock. Or no, he already played Warlock, right? Or I don't know. Yeah, no, he gets to play Warlock.
Yeah.
And
Try to win with Warlock. He played with Warlock before, and
yeah, and
didn't
he
win
lost
with
in
that
the
one.
mirror, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Or was it the? What did he lose to? Oh no, he lost the Quest Rogue mirror.
Yeah. All right,
So now it's the Warlock
So
mirror.
now we're doing the Warlock mirror.
Whew,
Man,
buckle up, ladies and
dude,
gentlemen. This series has been something else.
This is nuts. Oh man.
Now let's look at these lists, these Warlock lists. Double Mountain Giant in both. I like it. And Magnechu is looking like his hands have been getting the better of these mirrors.
So you have Earl. He's playing Two Faces manipulators. Magnechu is not. He's playing Lord Godfrey.
Not sure how I feel
Magnechu is
about
not
Godfrey
playing.
with
He's one of these things right here is Magnechu is not playing a Spellbreaker, but Earl is.
Spellbreaker doesn't do much to Mountain Giant on 4.
No, definitely not. And that's looking like exactly what's about to happen.
And it might just be one of those games where Spellbreaker just Mountain Giant just comes down and you just lose the mirror. And I mean, I know from playing from ladder, like those feel the worst sometimes. Like you just get rolled by a Mountain Giant.
This is going to hurt.
And Earl's like, well, this happens. You get hit really hard. And I actually almost like Voodoo Dolls for this. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you put Voodoo Dolls in to deal with this. And
the bad part is Earl does not have any Voodoo Dolls in his
Magnechu
deck, but
has
Magnechu
one.
does.
Yeah. And there it is. Hey, look at the Voodoo Doll. I mean, he could trade this off, and then Voodoo Doll and Coil, whatever comes out. It's a lot of damage to the face.
He just said, forget all that. I'm just going to push face.
Yeah. That's always a valid plan sometimes. Sometimes you can just push face. Deal with it later.
And I think with Earl having a Void Lord in hand, what's the percentage of him pulling the Void Lord and not, a Doom Guard?
Yeah, it's 33% that he actually pulls the Void Lord.
He still has to deal with an 8/8 on board.
Yep. I mean, Void Lords do a good job at it, but who
Pulls out a
cares?
Doom Guard.
Summon me. And I mean, Earl's just going to take a bunch of damage. I don't think you can concede yet. You need to force him to have it, but Earl just
He can get rid of the 8/8 with the. But it does not look like it does not look like he's going to do it.
But now that it's dealt with, this might just go long. Because there's no other real power plays. I mean, we have Cube Pact. That's huge. Yeah, Cube Pact. This could easily be a Doom Guard.
Void Lord.
You would have wanted to see a Doom Guard there because that would
Definitely wanted, yeah, because that was game over. You're done.
Game over. You're done. You don't have to deal with
it's
it.
over.
Now, you gotta make some plays. And it's it's tough when these games go long. And it's like there's so much that can happen with Godfrey and things like that. It's the Gul'dan board isn't as good with Godfrey because it kind of gets cleared up with some decent trades and some fancy 2+2+2+2 math. Godfrey, of course, dealing 2 damage to all minions, and then if the minion dies, it does it again. That would have been really funny if he discarded Godfrey, and I was like, oh, well.
Is he really going to try and do? Is he really going to try and? He's really going to try and do this Carnivorous Q play just to end it right now.
Yeah, I mean, it might work.
Is there anything? There's nothing in.
I mean, I'm sure if anyone's going to see a line here, it's
well, it
Earl.
said his emphasis is 5, right?
Yep.
He had a.
I mean, he risked it there. He could have discarded both cubes. And it almost seems like a risky matchup. Like, do you really want to risk it in this matchup? But
and that's it.
That's it.
That is it. That is game. Quick.
Yeah, quick cube block mirror. It's the Q-Block mirror it's rough sometimes. Sometimes you're like, it's like a 45-minute game, and then the other times it's over in 5. And just it wouldn't make sense if the series didn't go to Game 5. You know, like the series
for
has
this
been
one,
so good.
I would not be mad.
Yeah.
I would. This is
Make it 7 games. I don't care. Just
this
watch
is a
some
really
high-quality
this is a
Hearthstone over
really
here.
good
This is
Hearthstone
very
match.
good.
This is unbelievable.
It's that next level stuff right here. So
Game
it's gonna
5.
be this Spiteful Druid versus this Q block in a tough matchup to try and win here.
Gul'dan versus Malfurion.
I must protect the wild. Your soul shall be mine.
And so here we are in the final game of this series, which has been incredible. And we have Double Defile in hand. But we also have Spiteful Summoner in hand for Magnechu. So Double Defile is really nice. It allows the Warlock to get the board back at a lot of points, and he can just tap, tap, tap away for a little while because the Spiteful Druid is not doing anything super threatening within the first few turns.
But he's really good. He has a really good starting hand for Magnechu with his Spiteful Druid.
Yeah, this Spiteful
really
in
good
hand
starting
is
hand.
very nice for him. Dark Iron Dwarf. Interesting inclusion in the deck. Dark Iron Dwarf in Magnechu's Druid. Double Scalebane, double Fungal Mancer, Malfurion, Grand Archivist. It's
Everything is pretty, yeah. It's just
pretty
the Dark
standard
Iron
except the
Dwarf
Dark
is,
Iron Dwarf.
yeah.
I really think you want to see a Giant here if you're Swagio Earl. So you're gonna, you can still draw, right? You can play this. So you have 2 draws for Giant. And Lackey's very good in this matchup as well. But Earl also knows there's double Spellbreaker.
Yeah.
So you're not getting mana. I've decided that you're not getting mana today.
You want to work for that Spiteful Summoner? You're going to work for that Spiteful Summoner.
Yeah, you're not going to get it for free. We could even see a Spiteful Summoner come out on whatever comes from, or we could, I mean, a Faceless, whatever comes from the Spiteful Summoner. We could possibly see.
We definitely could.
And now,
Ooh.
it's like you have to silence this, but you don't want to silence this. You want to coin Summoner.
So
now you're in a tough spot.
Well, you're talking about Possessed Lackey on 5 right there. So
You could also just deal with it. You could just kill it. But you have Lackey Pact.
no. He knew he had to deal with that, especially with Possessed Lackey in hand.
And I think you hate to see it, but you want... is right. As Earl kind of tilts his head back and forth, it's a tough call. Like, a lot of these plays are really tough. You could Lackey Pact. It's not bad.
So many possibilities.
But you also kind of want to have the Pact for Cube, right? So it feels bad to do it this way. Because you can't just leave Cube up. It's going to get silenced. So you can Lackey Pact, or you can just play Lackey naked and hope it doesn't get silenced.
He's gonna Lackey and Pact, and he gets the Void Lord.
Void Lord's pretty good because even once it gets silenced, it's a 3/9 body, and you can. If a Dark Pact top deck would be the nuts. Because Spiteful Summoner can come out, right? And you could Faceless and then Defile. You could Faceless the big boy and Defile.
It's so many things he can do to keep himself in this game right now, too.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Earl's in a tough spot, but not an unwinnable spot. And Earl's going to feel pretty good about his last play because it stopped him from being able to coin Spiteful Summoner last turn.
What to do?
And I think you just play Spiteful cost 6. You have 6 mana. You play it on 6.
play on 6.
I mean, it just happens.
Let's see what he gets. Oh,
I mean,
oh,
it's the best one, and that's a little bit of a
that is
BM going on
the
over here.
best one.
Little BM, my greetings over here. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, cool,
Just,
man.
it's
You're
just
gonna
a
get,
little mean.
This is yeah, it's a big old Tyrantus.
That is a big old
Greetings back to you,
Tyrantus.
man.
Spectacular. Thank you.
I mean, some banter back and forth here.
Definite banter back and forth.
Any cube would be in. I mean, Pact would be insane on either of these minions here.
So he's gonna throw down the Crypt Lord. He's
Yep.
definitely gonna Spellbreaker the Void Lord. He's just gonna go right face.
You have to, right?
Oh, definitely.
Spellstone does a lot here. It allows him to kill the Tyrantus. And now he's thinking, oh, I've seen one Spellbreaker. Maybe I can finesse a cube play here, but that's just not what you want to see because your cube's just going to get silenced, and that's not good. Everything's bad. So if you can live to turn 10, we're in a good spot. The problem is living to turn 10, which I think if you just Spellstone, trade, and then trade the Tyrantus away, you can get there. What are you thinking?
So many possibilities.
So he will-
Oh yeah. So you actually can't do the Spellstone play, but you can do the Defile play, which
Yep.
is even
Wants
better.
to be even better.
Yeah, and that's a clear board. That's much better than the lines I was
Definitely a
taking.
clear board, yeah.
My lines were actually incorrect.
So clear board right now, but the whole bad part, he's got 14 health right now. He's gonna start
I mean, he's at 14 health, but
he's throwing
he
everything.
clears his board. And here's Magnechu saying, "All right, man, just don't deal with it, please.
And he can definitely deal with this board.
Definitely deal with it." I think he has to. And the next turn we have Gul'dan himself. But Magnechu also with the UI, so it's power plays from each side coming up.
He's definitely thinking about clearing the board.
And I think Spellstone comes down here, clears the board up.
Gives
Take
him
5 to face,
gives
you'll
him
be
a
at
good bit of
6.
health too.
Oh no, you'll be at 11 because you heal 5. Gul'dan coming down is very strong. Or I mean, UI coming down is very strong as well. It's both strong.
So has a Spellbreaker in hand too, but that's not really going to help, especially with Gul'dan coming out with
It'll be 2 Void Lords,
2 Void Lords.
right? No, 1 Void Lord.
1 Void Lord and then
All the Void
all the
Lords.
smaller ones.
Because he did not faceless the Void Lord. He faceless the
Oh,
Tyrant.
yeah, that's right. It was just the Void Lord.
Oh, there's also silence. It's just the Void Lord. Way to go, us. Good job, us.
GG.
Killing it.
Procasters right there.
Having a rough game.
Yeah.
It's been a long series, all right?
Pull out the other one. Oh, let's see what we get. What's
And
in
we
the
were hoping,
box?
and Earl was definitely hoping that there wasn't. I was definitely hoping that there wasn't the second. The second UI got drawn.
Yeah. So he's going to sign. So he's going to push that 5 to face. He's got a really good board going right now.
Hellfire keeps it that
coming
way,
out.
basically. He could Doomguard, hope to double Doomguard. Keeps him some semblance of around in the game, but not prospering. Keeps him dead to a lot of things.
So many bloody decisions.
But Earl definitely going to play to his outs here. Definitely going to give it all he has to try and stay alive. And a reminder, both these players in a solid spot to move on. 3-0 right currently. Definitely not guaranteed, though. Definitely going to be a tough tournament for them rest of the way.
He's definitely thinking about trying to Hellfire. So what do you do in this situation? Hellfire, get rid of the Spellbreaker.
I must feed now.
Void Lord in the Spiteful Summoner.
Yeah, I mean, you do a couple things.
My hunger
hero power into ultimate infest.
Yeah, so Hellfire, you ping. Or you don't even ping. You take
Nope.
the Doom Guard, you trade in the 5. And you're like, well, I'm not dead, is what he's saying right now. I'm not dead. Definitely not winning right now, but I'm not dead.
Oh,
now I'm dead.
now you are dead. Man. Them top decks.
That was an incredible series. Magnechu comes out on top with some powerful plays.
That was crazy.
Definitely just
that
like,
was
Magnechu had some, like, his wins were much more powerful. He felt like Magnechu kind of had the foot on the gas the whole series, and it was a lot of Earl just trying to finesse his way out of losing. And like a lot of the times he was able to. And then the last series
one
was
just
he
couldn't
wasn't,
do it.
the last game of the series he wasn't able to, but some really good Hearthstone being
that
played here.
was that's the best match so far.
The
That's
playing
the
was
best
much
match
better
ever.
than the casting.
Oh yeah, we should have just let them cast and play at the same time.
would've
It
been
would have
so
been
good.
fine. It would have been fine.
great.
We could have shut our mouths and not even say nothing. Just let
them play in
yeah.
silence. I think
that
players
was
would've been like, oh my God.
that was a awesome match.
Yeah,
that was
it was
great.
incredible.